Welcome to Sheffield Board Gamers Podcast. My name is Rick. This is episode 66. I'm joined today by Tom Coldron. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Rick.
Hello. Hi.
I think this should be something I should be able to say about episode 66, but it kind of seems significant in some way. Never mind.
Yeah.
Maybe wait till episode 666.
I was going to mention the Nintendo 64 when we did episode 64, but
I missed it now.
I was going to ask people what the favourite Nintendo games were, but yeah, we're past that now. Well, there was never a Nintendo 66, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, so we're going to chat about some of the games that we've been playing recently. We have question of the week, which is what games do you enjoy teaching? And before that, we have a bit of news. We have the Spiel award winners have been announced. So Bomb Busters was the winner, the main winner, and then the Kenner Spiel was Endeavour Deep Sea.
Neither of which I know anything about, so yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know if you can enlighten me about that.
Yeah, and usually for me, I have actually played both of these, so it doesn't usually happen with the Spiel, and it's usually they like one. At least there's at least one of them that's like an obscure sort of German release that you haven't seen before, or they're relatively new, so they've not had a chance to get played at the club or whatever. But yeah, I have actually played both, so yeah, they're both really good games. Well-deserved winners, I think. Bomb Busters, the deduction game, guessing numbers and trying to guess what numbers of other people have got, things like that. It's really good.
I really don't. I like deduction games. I ought to check this one out.
Yeah, it's a bit unusual in that the actual game itself is pretty straightforward. Once you've played it a couple of times, you'll probably know what to look for and know what to sort of how it works and how to sort of guess the numbers. But then within the box, there's a number of missions that you can do, and the missions sort of change things up and make things slightly different. So you're not just playing the same game over and over. It sort of evolves as you. It's not really a legacy game as such, but it evolves as you kind of go along and adds different things and changes the rules and adds a timer and things like that. So yeah, we played a couple of missions at the club and really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good family game.
Definitely picked out.
And then the other one, Endeavour Deep Sea. This is a sort of medium-ish Euro game where you're kind of diving down into the ocean, collecting resources and exploring, doing conservation, saving turtles, things like that. So that was a good game as well. I enjoyed that. I've only played that once, so can't really speak to much of that, but it was good when I enjoyed it.
Bomb Busters by Hisashi Hiyashi, designer of Yokohama and Trains. So it sounds like a bit smaller than those two games.
Yeah. And
Endeavour Deep Sea, I've definitely seen that at club, but I don't think I've played it. Yeah, it's slightly different to Hisashi Hiyashi, who's designed hundreds of things. This designer of this has designed Endeavour and Endeavour and Endeavour and Endeavour. Various small expansions and reskins. And I will definitely try these out. I mean, Spiel des Jahres has kept up its quality. I think everything they have tried that has been a Spiel des Jahres winner or nominated has actually been good. Maybe, not necessarily things I like or not, but if you like this sort of thing, this is the sort of thing you'd like.
I did see somewhere that they kind of somebody complaining that they didn't nominate the best games. They nominated kind of the family games that they'd expect families to play.
That's kind of their aim, really, isn't it?
And that's that's kind of what
it is. Family game,
isn't it?
So the wide German family gaming market is a recommendation, and the Kenner Spiel is for the slightly more complicated for the hobby gamers, and it's always good. Yeah, I mean, I like the lighter ones, I like the more complicated ones. I'm going to be going to a convention for the next few days this weekend, so I'll see whether there's anything in the library, so I can try these out. Try and get
I'm sure they have. Yeah, the only trouble is it might be people might be thinking the same thing, and it might be in demand. So,
well, yes, if there's something that's hot, it's hard to get hold of.
But definitely worth playing. I enjoy playing both of those, and I'd be happy to play them both again. The other thing that I've been doing this month is playing games on the Switch, and specifically board games. So I talked about Root that I bought a couple of months ago. I think I played that a few times on the Switch. That's a nice little conversion of the of a board game. And one that I picked up recently was Wingspan. So this is the cartridge version. This actually comes in a box. It's not like a download or anything. It comes in a box with a cartridge that you pop in, and it comes with all the expansions as well with it. So you can play against a computer. You can play online against other people. And yeah, it's Wingspan, basically. So everything that you'd expect out of that, all the cards, all the combos that you can get. I haven't played any of the expansions yet, but I've enjoyed playing the sort of basic game a couple of times. Root I've played a little bit more. I think when I talked about it last time, I'd only just bought it, so I haven't really played it much, but I played that a few times. That's a good game as well.
Are you playing it against a computer or against random people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I'm good enough to play against real people yet.
That's the trouble with these things where you're playing against anyone in the world. There's always some people who end up being really good at it. And
Yeah. I was Googling it last night, and there's loads of like strategy tips and like, at turn one you should be doing this, and if you're playing this faction, you should be doing this, and this first.
Yeah.
And usually when I play a game, it's like the first time I've played it, so we don't really know what we're doing. We just jump in and try a strategy and see what happens. But
yeah, I don't really engage in games in that way.
Yeah, I think the enthusiasts who really love it kind of, and have played it a lot and maybe play it in real life, have kind of know the strategies and know where the weaknesses are of each of the factions, and they're quite willing to exploit that. Whereas if you're a first time player, it's just do some things and cross my fingers sort of thing. So, but this is good practice. I mean, this is good at sort of teaching you the game itself. It's got a nice little tutorial in it, and it shows you how all the factions work and how it works. And
computer adaptation of things are really good for tutorial modes.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that in a box.
Yeah, you can play against a computer and have a bit of practice and things like that. So that's pretty
little
good.
Things popping up
The only thing, the only thing with Root is that on the Switch especially, I don't know if it's different if you got like the tablet version or if it's available for PlayStation or Xbox or anything like that. But the screen real estate is kind of quite small. So if you're trying to sort of view the whole board, if you're trying to see where everybody is and what everything what is where, it's quite difficult to see if you zoom all the way out, because people have like buildings and troops at various different points, and you're trying to see the icons that are there for your building and stuff like that. It's quite difficult to see, so you end up kind of zooming in a little bit, but then scrolling around. You have to scroll around to try and see everything all in one place. So that's one thing I didn't really like about it. It's a little bit more fiddly. Wingspan's a lot better because it opens up each. I don't know if you played Wingspan, but you have like rows of cards.
Yeah, I played it a few times.
You've got like the the marsh, and then the trees, and then something else. It kind of flicks between those, so you don't sort of view the whole thing all in one go. You view one of the sections of it, so it makes it a lot easier to see what's kind of on the screen and what's happening. You can view the other people's boards as well, which is quite good. But they were both pretty good. And Wingspan, I'm looking forward to trying out some of the expansions and seeing what extra stuff they had. So that should be cool.
Nice.
Anything you've been up to this month? Anything you want to talk about?
Not yet. I think I mentioned that I'm going to be doing something this weekend, but I can't really talk about it yet because I haven't done it yet. Aircon in Manchester, Northwest. Aircon Northwest, one of the satellite versions of Aircon. I did see actually a breakdown of attendance that someone put up. The main one, as you know, for Aircon is Harrogate, second biggest in the UK after UK Games Expo. And they've got a couple of satellite events, the Manchester one and Telford, I think. And the Manchester one is about 1/5 the size of the Harrogate one last year's attendance. So, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's still, I mean, they've got the board game library and some events and a few stalls. But it's kind of like the Harrogate one was a few years ago. I was going to say 5 years ago, but no, nothing was like that 5 years ago. So,
yeah. I guess like the Harrogate one, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year, doesn't it?
It will do. I think this is only the second this is the third time they've had it on, or the second? God, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's.
I'm assuming that these will sort of grow over the years as well, as people get to, go to the local one or whatever, and then they might pop into the Harrogate one as well.
Yeah.
They'll probably sort of expand out, won't they, over time until they hit kind of a low enough level. But I went last year. I had a brilliant time. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I look forward to hearing about what you've been up to next time we talk. That'll be good. Okay, shall we talk about some of the games that we played recently?
Yes, let's talk about some.
So we played, myself and you, and a couple of other people played Mechs versus Minions.
Yes, which I'd never played before. I know it was
me either.
The hotness a few years ago.
Yeah, this came out in 2016, and I think I bought it probably in 2018, something like that. I think it's the second printing, man. It's like the second wave. And it's been sat on the shelf all this time, and I've never played it.
Oh, no.
So I mentioned it to Samuel, who comes on the podcast as well, and he said, it's a brilliant game. I think he's played through it, through the entire campaign once already. So I said, I'll bring it down and we'll do a couple of missions. So I took it down to the club, which is an endeavour in itself because it's a massive, it's a huge box full of stuff. So it's based on a video game, I'm going to say.
League of Legends, I want to say.
Yeah, never played it. Don't know what it's like.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But this is the publisher is Riot Games, who does the video game, and it was a big thing a few years ago because it was a massively well produced, like a massive game full of plastic. And
Riot Games, with one of the biggest computer games in the world, had lots and lots of money.
They are quite rich.
It.
Yeah, and they don't sell it through retail. You can't get through retail. You can only buy it through their store online. So they're kind of cutting out the middleman and just producing it and selling it on the website. I think it's out of print now. I don't think you can buy it anymore from the website, I believe. But I'm sure there are a couple of second-hand copies floating around. But it's a big sort of chest-sized box with loads of minis in and sort of tiles, map tiles, and an egg timer and a big boss character that we've not seen yet. They're still in the box.
So we only played the sort of the first mission sort of thing, didn't we?
So we played a tutorial, which is kind of getting you used to how the mechs work.
Yeah, no actual challenge, just sort of getting used to how they're played.
Yeah, so you kind of draft some cards and then you program into slots on your board, and then you kind of go from slot 1 to slot 6 and do something. So you might move forward a couple of spaces, or you might shoot your weapon, or you might turn left or right, or do a U-turn or something. But then on the next round, you'll draft some more cards and add some more cards to your row, and your row still does it in the same order. So you have to kind of plan ahead and work out where you're going to go and what's going to happen over the next round.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to accomplish different things depending on the mission. So I think the first mission we were just trying to crush some crystals. There's some crystals out on the board, so you just have to trundle over them to crush them. And then on the second mission there was a bomb, and we were trying to drag the bomb to this diffusing spot and defuse it.
And in this one, the minions fought back and started messing up our cards, which was annoying of them.
Yeah, which is really annoying. You have the perfect plan laid out, and then all of a sudden there's a minion spawns next to you, and he kind of bashes you and does a bit of damage, and then one of your slots
is you get a damage card, and it has to go on over one of your cards in one of your slots. So
yeah.
You're moving forward like you meant, and you're shooting like you meant, but then suddenly you're turning left or whatever. And that makes everything go wrong.
Yeah. And then after that, it introduces some more mechanics. So there's some envelopes to open. There's an egg timer. So when you're doing the draft, you don't have time to sort of think about what you need and work out where you're going to go. You just have to grab something quickly. Otherwise, you run out of time. We played it 4 players, which was fine. Like I say, we played a couple of missions, and it probably took us a couple of hours to go through 2 missions, sort of learning the game.
And I seem to remember we failed the mission. But,
it's a way. I should mention it's a cooperative game. Yeah, we're kind of all working together.
Yeah, we're all of us versus all these.
There is a little bit of a challenge there. Yeah, it's not something that's like really easy. You just play out cards and we breeze this. We'll go on to the next mission. It does take a bit of planning and a bit of work to, work out what you need to do and how you're going to do it. So. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying the other missions as well at some point. We'll have to. That's the other thing. We'll have to get a group together and try and sort of play through all the missions and play the same. Play with the same people. Can be a bit challenging sometimes if you're in the same environment, and people are bringing in new games all the time. But yeah, if we can get a group together, I'd be happy to go through this. And Samuel was really enjoyed it as well. First time he played it, so he was happy to go through it a second time. He was helping us out with the teach and sort of some of the rules and things like that. So that was really good to have someone there that had played it already. But it was good. Brilliant sort of components. The mechs that you're kind of steering around are all like big plastic mechs that are all fully painted. They come in the box painted. The minions are like little miniatures that have like a wash over them, so they're not just plain plastic. They've got like a bit of a wash, so they're all grey, but they look really nice. The components are really good. All the cards and the tiles and the boards and everything. So yeah, it was a really good game. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to playing it more in the future.
I seem to remember that not only did they not spare any expense on the production quality, but they also, when they were designing it, they bought the services of some big board game reviewers to come and consult on it. They flew in Quinns from Shut Up and Sit Down and Tom Russell from the Dice Tower to the Riot Games HQ and got them to comment on how they found it at the time and what they would like to change on it and things.
Right.
So they did a great job with it.
That kind of explains. Yeah, that explains a lot. Yeah, so very good. Yeah, I didn't know that.
And it's still in the top 100 of Board Game Geek as well.
Oh, is it?
Even though it's like was it 7 years since it was released?
And it's not the typical kind of game that's in the top of the Geeks listing as well. They're kind of usually the more heavier, kind of longer games, aren't they? This is definitely Eurotrash kind of
type things end up in the top. But yeah, this is a bit more wild and chaotic.
Yeah,
which is its strength, really. I mean, the wild chaos is the fun bit.
Yeah.
The things going wrong, just like in Robo Rally.
Yeah, true. It's it's got that bit of you're not quite sure what's going to happen because of the damaged cards and because of the way that sort of stuff pushes you around. You can't 100% guarantee what you're gonna do, and that's part of the fun. Of it, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a good game.
I really enjoyed it and would be happy to play it again sometime.
Mm-hmm. You've been playing anything recently?
Well, I'll just mention a game that I played at the just after that. I think it's not one I've heard of before, even though apparently it was published in 2003. It's a game called Santiago.
All right.
So I've not heard of it, and the designers, Roman Pelek and Claudia Eli, I don't know. They haven't really done anything else, but it was. I found it really interesting, and some games you play that published 20 plus years ago, and they feel like it.
Right.
Like you go, this was the style at the time.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But this seemed like it could have been published any time, really.
All right. Yeah.
It's a game of growing different types of crop on a grid of fields. You bid. So there's some cards drawn depending on number of players, which may or may not have, which may have different crops on them and one or two spaces for workers to go on. So the 2 ones are better because that counts as 2 times whatever. And then you bid to have first choice of these. Whoever bids the most gets their first choice and then places it on the board somewhere. But whoever passes out first gets last choice of those, but gets to be the person who controls where the water goes. And if the water doesn't go to the field you place down, it starts dying. And if it runs out of workers, then it's dead, and you've got no point for it. So the person with the water, they've paid least for the fields. They've got a rubbish choice of the crop, but then everyone can offer them money to maybe make the water go that direction rather than the other direction. So it's a game of bribery and corruption as well as strategic vegetable growing. And what you're doing with these grids is at the end the scoring is the number of tiles in that entire field of bananas or whatever, times by your presence in it. So you might have 5 workers on this group, and there are 7 tiles in it, and you've got 35 points, and that's really good. But yeah, it worked really well. It's fairly simple auction and sort of area control type thing, but it massive interaction all the way through, and people threatening to cut off your bananas, and and yeah, it was really good. I thought. I was surprised by it.
Right.
I didn't exactly know what was going to happen when I sat down, but yeah, it worked really well. I'm surprised it's not actually been more said about it, because I thought this one might have been one of the classics from the era. Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw you playing it at the club, and the board itself is quite small. It's looking at it from above, there was not that many spaces, and I think the pieces, the fruit pieces and stuff that you're growing is like little pieces that you put on there, so you can see like what's going where. But yeah, it looks like you kind of everyone's staring intently at this board and trying to work out the best way.
The boards your workers are cubes, which is
right.
Might have been different if it'd been published 2023 instead of 2003.
Yeah,
but might have been a bit more character to those. But yeah, it's the choice of the fruit and veg. If you got the group for it, it would very much lend itself to double entendres. If that's, you got melons and bananas and coconuts. So,
all right, okay, yeah.
Whether that's a plus or a minus, I don't know. Yeah, auctions, bribery, area control.
So my next one is a game called Bunny Kingdom.
Oh, this is Richard Garfield, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. Him of Robo Rally that we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
King of Tokyo. A couple of card games. I can't remember what they are. Something.
Yeah, some little card game. I don't know. Okay, Magic the Gathering. We won't keep it up.
So this is from 2017. It takes about an hour. It's another drafting game. So you're drafting cards, and there's a big board in front of all the players, which is split up into squares, similar to Santiago, I guess, with more squares on it. And there's a card for each square on the board. So you've got like numbers going down the side.
The similar sort of multiplication thing going on with the scoring.
Yeah, for area control and things like that. Yeah. So there's numbers going down the side, letters across the top. So when you get a card, you know which spot that card is for. So the board itself is pre-printed. It's got fields on which have carrots in them. It has sea, which has fish, and these are resources that you can get. There's another one as well that you can get. I can't remember where it is. The third one. Was it? Wood from the forests. And then some of the squares are just empty. There's nothing in them at all. There are cities on the board, which are unpopulated at the moment. It's just like a building that's plopped onto the board. So they're starting off in starting positions, and everybody gets a hand of these cards. And there are 3 types of cards. So the first type of card points to a position on the board. So if you play that card, if you pick and play that card from the draft, you'll put one of your bunnies in that position. So B4, for example. And then if it's like a city, you can put your rabbit in the city. So the pieces that you're putting out of the board to claim it are like really nice pastel-coloured little plastic rabbit pieces. Again, same as before, these could be cubes, or they could be, in an older game, they'd be meeples or something. But these are like really nice little plastic bunnies that you're putting out. The second type of card is an event card or an action card, so something will happen. And then the third type is like an end-of-game scoring card. So if you get the corner pieces on the board, you'll get a certain number of points. Or if you control the most areas at the end of the game, you'll get points, things like that. So basically, you'll get a hand of cards. You'll pick up 2 cards, I think it is. I think it's 2. You'll play those, and then you'll pass the rest of the cards on to the next player. You'll receive some from the player next to you, and then you'll pick another 2. And it'll keep going on like that. And then once all the cards have been dealt out, there'll be a scoring round. So your score is how many cities you control in that area. multiplied by how many different resources that area produces. So, like I mentioned, there is some already printed on the board, like wood, carrots, and fish. But as part of playing the cards, you can also add more resources to the board. So you might drop one of those in one of the areas that you have already controlled, or one that you're sort of heading towards, and that'll give you more resources, and it's a bigger multiplier. So at the end of the first round, you'll probably get 2, 3, 5 points, something like that, which doesn't seem a lot since the board goes up to like 300. Mm-hmm. But then you'll do the same thing again. You do a second round, and then all of a sudden these multiples start going up, so you're getting more and more cities into the areas that you control. You're getting more and more resources. So suddenly you're doing 3 multiplied by 5 points at the end of the turn for each area that you've got. And then there'll be a third round where you do the same thing again. So this is one of those games where it kind of builds up quite nicely. At the end of the game, you'll have a full board with all the rabbits spread out in all the different places, all the cities built, all the buildings on the board, and it looks really good. So it's something that you can look at and be proud of. So yeah, we built this as part of the game. But the drafting part of it is really good because there's quite a lot of hate drafting in this game. You can see what areas your opponents are going for, and if you've got a particular spot in your hand that's really good for them, that might join up 2 big areas or expand it out into another resource or something like that. It's kind of the ones.
Yeah, you'll be sitting there thinking, "Oh, I really want D7. If I get D7, I'll be so rich." And everyone else is saying, "Oh, we're not letting you have D7."
And so there's a lot of that. In the first round, it doesn't really matter. You just pick a few cards and put a few rabbits out, and everything's fine, and nobody's touching each other, and it's all you get a few points. But then suddenly on the second round, it's like, well, right. So I can either take this, which doesn't do anything for me, but it'll score him a lot of points, or I can pass it along and hope he doesn't pick it, and maybe pass it on to somebody else and pick something that's even better. When do you go for the scoring cards? So you can pick up these parchment cards that give you scoring. You can sort of pick some in the first round, and that gives you something to build towards. But you're not always going to be able to achieve the cards that you've picked, so they might end up not getting you anything, and you've kind of wasted a card there. So do you wait until later on? But then if you wait later on, somebody else might grab them before you get them. So it kind of escalates towards the end, and in the third round, you really are struggling to think about what cards you want to pick. All these cards are fantastic for you. All these cards are brilliant. And if they're not brilliant for you, they're brilliant for somebody else. So it's a really tricky proposition to try and pick out the ones that are going to get you some points, but stop other people getting points. So it's a really good game. I've really enjoyed it. It's I played it 3-player and 4-player. Not quite sure how to play 2-player because obviously it's same size board, so I don't know if there's any extra rules for 2-player to sort of make it a bit smaller or something. But worked really well at 3-player and 4-player, and takes about an hour. It's not like a long game or anything. It takes it says 45 minutes on the box, but I think it's about an hour. To play a full game of it. But yeah, I had a really good time with it. Yeah, it is fairly straightforward. It's one of those like really simple games where you just pick a couple of cards and then you do what it says in the card. It's not like got massive complexity or anything like that, but the complexity comes from how it builds up on the board and where you're going to place everything.
Yeah, I've played this. I can't remember if I've played this twice or maybe just the once, but I remember it being enjoyable. Couple of things I remember about it. Takes quite a long time to do the scoring.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely no reason for the theme to be bunnies.
Yeah.
But it was very enjoyable.
The artwork's really nice. Yeah, they're all like cute bunnies that are doing sort of various jobs on the cards. The board's really well illustrated. Like I said, little plastic bunnies. And I think the way they spread on the board and the way that they kind of group together and sort of spread out is kind of bunnyish, but apart from that, there's not much.
They keep on multiplying. There's a lot of multiplying. It's a pun on the multiplying that you do for the scoring.
Yeah. You do multiply.
Maybe not.
Yeah. So and the scoring, that is a little bit fiddly because at the end of the game, you've obviously got this board full of bunnies, and you're trying to work out where the areas are, and you need to multiply it. And sometimes you'll miss one, you'll miss a resource. So, that should have been 3 times 9, not 3 times 8 or something like that. But
then you count up these 20 different parchment cards that you've got.
Yeah, you had to pull the parchments at the end. So there's quite a lot going there. I did actually I got this second hand. I can't remember where I got it from now. I think I might have got it in a math trade. But it did actually come with the expansion in it as well. There's an expansion that I haven't played with yet. And that adds a little board off to the side that's got more spaces on and a few extra cards and things like that. So, an extra player maybe as well. I don't know. I've not played it yet, but I've got a box with the expansion in it. But yeah, it's I've enjoyed it playing it so far, and I'm looking forward to trying it again.
Shall I go on to a different game?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like possibly we ought to apologise to our listeners. We're not doing the hot up to the minute board game news. We're talking about games that 20 years old, 10 years old.
Yeah.
I've got another one now from 2016.
All right. Okay.
Which is a little card game called Hero Realms, which is very similar to another game called Star Realms, but with a fantasy theme instead of a space theme.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very similar in gameplay. I don't know how different they are in with how much they've tweaked the card powers and the costs and things between one and the other. Basically the same game. And I enjoy both of them. And Hero Realms, we just got out the other day, myself and Paula, and hadn't played it for like 3 or 4 years, and then just played 5 or 6 games of it in a couple of days, and just remembered how much we like it.
Yeah, it's a deck builder then, like
it's a deck builder. Yes, but it's a simple, quick deck builder. But unlike things like Dominion, where you're competing to be the first to get a certain number of points, this one's attacking your opponent, and it's the last one standing.
Yeah.
It's made for 2 players, so it's 1 versus 1. But there are rules for having team games or multiple, well, more than 2 players. Basically, if you've got like 3 players, you choose who you're attacking, and if you've got team games, then you could have it as you're sharing the resources, or you could be individual. You're controlling your cards and they're controlling their cards, but you're trying to attack the people opposite you. But yeah, it's a deck building game. So you start with a basic deck of cards which either give you a tiny bit of money or a tiny bit of attack. And so you've got your 5 cards, you've got 1 attack and 4 money, and there's some cards in the middle in the shop. With your 4 money, you might be able to buy this one, which is going to be a better one. It'll come up later. That goes in your discard pile and then comes up later. And you build up to getting better and better cards, and hopefully you're building things up faster than your opponent is. The cards are split into sort of 4 different factions, which have sort of different focuses. Like one tends to get you money, one just tends to enable you to thin out your deck to get rid of rubbish cards. Another one just does lots of damage. And the factions have an extra little combo thing that if you've some of them have, it does this, but if you've got another one of that faction, it also does a little bit extra.
All right, yeah.
Which is sort of a easy comboing.
Yeah.
You don't have to think too much. Like, oh, I've got 2 Empire cards, therefore I do more stuff. Getting more Empire cards is good. So it doesn't take a lot of really in-depth strategizing to work out that that's good. But it just means that you're constantly doing stuff and doing more stuff and getting better. And and you look at your deck and think, oh, this is a deck that's going to get me loads of health and money, and as long as I can survive, I'm going to really build up a massive engine. Yeah. Meanwhile, the other person's just getting all the stuff that does you massive hits every turn. So it ends up as being a race. It's a quick, fairly simple, and very fun game. And I could play it over and over again. Star Realms, I used to have as an app on my phone, and I'd play like 5 games just on the way to work. Yeah. I don't know how much you've played Star Realms or Hero.
Oh, loads. Yeah.
On the app?
Yeah. I did have the real game as well. Yeah, I played that a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly on the app. Yeah.
And of course, quite a few years ago now, we had the Star Realms League where people played it
Oh,
on
yeah.
the app
Yeah.
from the club, and someone kept score. I think I did it one time.
Yeah.
And apparently Samuel was very good at it because he kept on winning. last couple of leagues of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little blast from the past. Got it out again after a few years and really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
It's nice when you do that, really, isn't it? Just rediscover something
when
you haven't picked up for a
when
while.
you revisit something and start enjoying it again. Yeah, it does sound very similar to Star Realms. Yeah, the way you described it. Is it different enough that you'd play one over the other, or are they both fairly similar in the way that they play?
I think gameplay-wise, you'd be doing the same thing. I presume they've sort of refined the different card powers a bit between Star Realms and Hero Realms.
Right.
So it might be a little bit smoother, but basically it's doing the same thing.
Right.
And if you prefer space theme, go for Star Realms. If you prefer fantasy theme, go for Hero Realms.
Right. Do you want to do your last game then?
What was my last game?
Hallertau.
Hallertau. Now, okay, this is a little bit more recent than the others.
Okay.
Right, this is an Uwe Rosenberg game.
All right. Okay.
So, like quite a few of his bigger games, it's a worker placement game with lots of different resources. It actually came out in 2020, so a little bit older than I thought. How many Uwe Rosenbergs have you played?
A few. Yeah. Not all of them, but a couple. So
he's done like Le Havre and Agricola and Nussfjord and Atiwa and all of these based on the same idea as Caverna. Agricola was the one that came first, where you've got various worker placement spots which come out in different ways. Agricola, they're sort of gradually revealed in slightly different orders every game. In Caverna, I think you sort of build tiles with different things on. In this one, you've got a set board of the worker placement spots. So you might have one action which gets you a sheep and a piece of meat or something, or you can make one of your fields better and plant 2 crops or something like that. Or you can just get some resources, or you can get some clay according to the round number or something like that. These spots are fixed, so they're the same spots all the way through the game, but they change how much it costs to go on them depending on how many people have done it. So the first time someone puts something on, it costs 1. Second time someone puts something on, it costs 2. And every so often, every round, one of the quadrants of worker spaces gets some of those cubes taken off, but it's a little bit random. But there are, I think, 10, 12 different resources.
Right.
So you got 4 different crops, and then you got milk, wool, meat, and hide from the animals, and then you got clay.
A typical Uwe Rosenberg, he does like his different resources, doesn't he?
There's about 9 different resources. Yeah, so he's got the board you've got in front of you has got space for the resources to move up. So you mark that you've got 7 clay by having a clay piece on the 5 space and a clay piece on the 2 space, and you can move up or down as you get or spend them. But it's also got fields, which if you leave them empty, they sort of move up the board and get better. If you plant them, you basically put one crop in them, i.e. move your wheat down 1 space and then put a space on that field. And then when you harvest, it turns into as many things as that field. So if your field is at level 4, you put a thing on it, and then when you harvest it, it's now 4 things. So there's a sort of mechanic of leaving your fields fallow to let them get better, and getting more fields is a big part of the game because you only start with 3 of them, but there's space for 8. But the biggest thing on the board in front of you is this massive cardboard building, which is sort of sliding along a track. You've got, in order to move the building one space to the right, you got to move 5 different things up. So you got to move the butcher up by spending milk and meat. You got to move this other thing up by spending wheat, flax, and barley. I can't remember all the different things. There's a yellow one and a green one and a blue one. And so there's 5 different things that you've got to spend resources on at the end of the round to move them up. And when you've moved all of them up by 1, then your big building moves up by 1. Basically, you've got to get everything in order to advance the game.
Yeah.
So you can't just concentrate on becoming the heap king or something. And the more this big building moves up, the more workers you've got. So by the 6th round, you've got 12 workers, whereas at the start you had 6 workers. So the rounds become bigger, and you're able to spend on these things that would have been really expensive before. Like, I could spend 3 workers on that action. In the first round, you go, oh, not doing that. But in the last one, you go, I got loads of workers. But all these different systems, the many different resources, the different fields that you can manipulate, the different there's cards that enable you to get stuff. There's simple cards that like spend 3 wheat and get a sheep, something like that. But then there's harder cards. There's like if you manage to get all of this stuff, then you manage to get that turns into 10 points. So trying to get those cards and turn them into opportunities and building towards the big point scoring things and all the different ways that you can do that just turns into a lovely sort of game soup. There's not like an obvious, I've got to do this to stop you doing that.
Yeah.
It's just all these things I want to do. Where's the best thing I can do right now?
Yeah. That's what it does quite well, isn't it? Give you like loads of options to do.
So many options and
all these different things.
Loads of things get you something good, but it's optimizing what's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Like I suppose the most overwhelming one of that is like either Feast for Odin or Fields of Val, which have got this like massive grid of different options for action spaces, with like 60 different action spaces.
Yeah.
This isn't as overwhelming as that, but it's got a lot of stuff going on with the different resources.
Right.
So,
Right. And how long do you think it takes to play it? How long did it take to go through it?
I've only played it as a 2-player game. I think it'd be longer than more people playing it, but I even know quite a few things you can do at the same time.
Yeah.
And it I don't know, an hour and a half for a 2-player game. Once you know how to do it. But so last weekend we just played it twice in a row, which I don't usually do. So, and he's been doing the same sort of thing over and over again in different games, from Agricola to Caverna to Lava to
but always like a new twist in it or something different.
And always, I reckon he's getting pretty good at it now.
Yeah,
this whole worker placement thing.
Yeah, I've played a few of his games, and it goes from kind of the small 2-player ones right up to, like you said, the big Feast for Odin ones that are huge. So is this kind of in the middle then? Do you think this is kind of the...
Yeah, I mean, it's a big box, and down in the bottom left-hand corner, they've written expert level, just to warn off anyone who accidentally might stumble onto it and be frightened. But it plays smoothly once you've got into it and worked out all the different mechanisms. It works really well.
Yeah,
and
cool.
I like all of those things he does, and I don't know. It's a bit hard to pick like whether to sort of rank them, but I think this one is probably one of the better things. If you like one of them, you're going to probably like all of them. This one's really good.
Right. Yep. Okay. Any more games you want to talk about, or should we move on to question of the week?
Yep. Go for question of the week. I don't have any other games particularly.
So, question of the week is what games do you love to teach? So, we had a discussion a couple of episodes ago about games that you taught where you got the rules wrong. So that happens sometimes,
It
but
does.
obviously with us playing games, it's nice, to jump into a game that everybody knows and you just jump in and start playing. But a lot of the
Yeah.
time, at least one person doesn't know how to play, and you need to sort of teach that person how to play.
Well, the trouble is, part of the appeal of the hobby is the constant novelty as well. So many
Yeah,
games so you
yeah,
want to learn new things, but then that involves learning them.
and
So,
and the trouble is, you can't just jump in and start playing. It is something where you need to know how the scoring works at the end, what you're going to be doing in your turn and which order, what the little icons on the cards do. It's not something where you can. So I'm a bit wary of that sometimes because I had a few friends from work over, and they said they had a really good time and they enjoyed it, but they weren't right keen on the lecture at the start of the game.
yeah,
So I got into sort of
yeah.
teaching mode and said, right, this is how it works. This is what you're going to do. Doing on your turn, you do this, this, and this, and that was kind of a bit of a turn off for people who maybe don't play games as much as we do.
Yeah, I mean, when we're in the hobby, we kind of know that that's coming and it's totally accepted. But you don't.
Yeah,
It's not. You have to realise sometimes that that's it's going to be a
yeah,
shock
yeah.
to people who don't.
And I can think back to when I first started playing these kind of games like 10 or 11 years ago. And, people trying to explain them to me and they having to explain what deck building was, what worker placement is,
Yeah,
what victory points were at the end, things like that. It's not stuff that comes naturally. So it's something you have to sort of, yeah. But having said that, there is a kind of joy to teaching games and to getting people playing games and enjoying them and getting people into the hobby that obviously we love. I guess I don't know. Do you like teaching games? Do you not like? Would you avoid it if possible? If somebody else said, "Oh, I know how to play this game, I can teach it," would you defer to them, or do you like teaching?
I'm kind of a designated games learner in our couple.
Yeah,
So yeah, I have to teach. I have to learn games and teach them
yeah,
to Polly. But yeah, I mean, it's just something that happened. I don't mind teaching. I wouldn't say definitely I want to be the one teaching.
yeah.
I did have a nice experience when we were. Someone brought what's it called? The one that isn't Quetzalcoatlug.
All right, okay. That doesn't narrow it down much. That.
Tappens of Tiefenthal.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Wolfgang Warch.
yeah.
I remember someone brought that, and it was a new game, and so we were all punching it out.
Oh, right,
And
okay.
as we were doing it, we were
Yeah,
kind of working out how it goes. And that is
right.
a game that's sort of really well designed so that we go, oh, this bit obviously means that we're doing this in the game.
Yeah,
Oh, look
yeah,
at that. And we weren't looking at the rules, we were just working it out from the components.
yeah, yeah,
And it worked really nicely.
yeah,
But yeah, it's learning games and teaching games is something that could really be hampered by just bad rules. And I
yeah.
think games have generally got a lot better
Oh,
over the
yeah,
last. I think even over the last 10 years,
yeah,
rules, just the quality of them has just massively increased.
yeah,
I think if there's exceptions and things that aren't explained until later, so you don't know what this bit means yet, even though they're saying it,
yeah,
and they keep on jumping around, then it can be a real pain, and everyone
yeah,
just
yeah,
gets sort of impatient.
yeah.
But
There is a
if
danger of
it's
kind of losing people's attention, isn't there?
yeah,
If things aren't quite going smoothly, and you're having to look things up, and people start fidgeting and playing with the components and things like that, waiting for you look something up. So
yeah,
obviously, shorter games. If it's like a short game, I've seen people before where they don't even know how to play the game. They'll just pick up the game, start reading rules, and then kind of explain it as they're reading through it.
yeah.
Obviously, that's not something you'd be able to do with a longer, more complicated game.
Mm.
Do you have you done that before? Have you just picked up a game and said, "Oh, we'll play this. Don't know how to play it, but we'll just learn it from the rule book and we'll figure it out."
Yeah, I mean, I'm slightly wary of being rushed and missing something important, so I do try and make sure that I've got a bit of time to look at it first. But yeah, I mean, it's the convention things where you go to a library and pick something up is a time where people tend to try and sort of work things out.
Yeah.
Quickly. Yeah. I know we did that with. Oh God, I'm trying to remember a late night at UK Games Expo now, so that's not going to work from my memory. But yeah, we worked out That's Not a Hat. I think like that.
Yeah.
So just kind of reading the rules and going, oh right, do this. Okay, so I'll get a card, and then read the next rule and go, all right, so I get another card, and I'll look at it. Okay, and then we sort of playing out the first turn as the rules told us, which I wouldn't do with a long game, with a complicated game. But
I think the longer the game, the longer the teacher's going to be. Generally, not always, but generally, and definitely on some of the Sunday sessions, we've been down and the the guys have been playing sort of a longer game that's maybe taking all day, and we'll have played our first game in the time they've done the teach and they've started the first round. We've been packing up and starting our second game, but. Yeah, so I guess for longer games, you need someone that really knows the rules inside out and maybe has played before and knows all the ins and the outs of it, and that makes things a lot smoother and a lot easier.
And it is something that people can get used to as well. I mean, I think as well as being aware of the fact that you're going to have a bit of a teach at the start and it might be complicated, there's also, I think, a willingness to have a first game where you're going to get something wrong.
Yeah.
So if there's a group that doesn't mind too much, we're all going to be new to this. We've got to get stuff wrong. So we can start now, even though we're not entirely sure about things.
Yeah.
But that can go wrong if someone's saying, "Oh no, but if I'd known that rule, I wouldn't have done that." Yeah, but I think in the last Sunday session, Sam brought a fairly big, complicated game, Shackleton Base, where you're setting things on the rules on the moon, and that had a fair amount of rules, and it's a little bit modular. So part of the setup is selecting 3 of the 7 maybe different corporations, which are an extra little thing, and each of them has its own rules. So we had to have the rules for those 3 things, as well as the base rules for how to do all the stuff on the board. And we played through. Sam knew how to play it. The other 3 of us were new to it, and definitely when it started, there were some things that I wasn't clear on what that does. I just thought, either I'll pick it up later or I'll just ignore it. And I won't be playing. Maybe that means I won't be playing strategically absolutely perfectly, but whatever. It's the first game. Fun. Yeah, I mean, often in the first game, you just concentrate on the bit that you don't know. Yeah. So I think that's it requires a sort of willingness of the group to accept that.
Yeah,
it really helps.
Yeah. So do you teach different people differently? So, like for example, a non-gamer, if it's somebody who's not really played that many games, like I mentioned earlier, if it's a worker placement game, we'll know what that entails. You'll have a worker and you put it out on space on the board, and that space is blocked. Do you kind of keep in mind that you've got different levels in the group and maybe some are more experienced than others, or would you just go like top to bottom and say, right, this is how you do it, and just not worry about like what experience people have had who are
you got to keep in mind what people are getting, so you can check whether people are with you at various points and check anyone got any questions.
Just check in with everyone and see if they're getting it.
And don't just throw in things like, right, this is a worker placement game, if there's any doubt that anyone would not know what that means.
Yeah. So sometimes when you're teaching a game, sometimes they'll have a twist in there or some kind of mechanic that's not really cropped up before. And that's one of the cool things about teaching the game is saying, oh yeah, we're going to be doing this, we're going to put and work it out. But then at this point, this will happen, or something's different to the other games. So one of the things I thought of with this was Skull. When you're playing cards out, Skull and Roses, where you sort of play cards to try and bluff and to try and bid on how many cards you can turn over. You always have to turn your cards over first. And sometimes it's things that, sometimes people forget that on the first couple of goes.
Yes, I definitely have
explaining
games
that is like, that's the bluffing part of it. If you put a skull down and you're bidding, you have to make sure you're losing that bid, otherwise you're turning your skulls over.
Well, how much of that do you explain? I mean, you can explain the basic rules and then just let people discover that's where the bluffing is.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, is one of those things you can kind of throw in at the end. You always have to turn over your cards first, and maybe it doesn't sink in first. So like people will start playing, and then they play a skull, and then they'll start bidding, and I've won the bid, right? Okay, and they'll start turning somebody's tiles over. Oh no, sorry, you can't do that. You have to do yours first. And,
I mean, it's a little bit of a feel bad moment. I can imagine people could get annoyed if they'd say, "Oh, well, you didn't say that." I did. You weren't listening.
Yeah, but sometimes there's like a neat little. Another one I thought of was what's it called? Century. You play out cards to change resources, and you can pick up new resources, and you're getting new cards. And then at one point, one of your turns is just pick up all your cards that you've played so far, put them back into your hand. So sometimes stuff like that, where you kind of explain something that's quite cool, because everybody will go, right. And that's part of the fun of teaching it as well.
I quite like the thing in No Thanks, where you can explain the rules. Here's some cards. You don't want to get cards, so if you don't want to take that card, you put a token on it. And that's basically the rules.
Yeah.
Then later on, there's like a 32 on the table, and everyone's put a token on it. And you've got a 31, which means it'd be fine for you to take it. It would not affect your score at all. As you've explained to everyone, the run of cards means you just count the lowest one. So the 32 is really bad for everyone else and really fine for you.
Yeah.
And it's got five tokens on it. And then you put another token on it, and people go, oh.
Yeah.
Because you're sending it around for everyone else to put a token on, so you can get more.
Yeah.
And you haven't explained that bit of the strategy, but it's sort of emerged in gameplay.
Yeah. There's a few like that, isn't there? That kind of it sort of show themselves as you start playing. Yeah.
But you could have explained it in the start, like, you could put the token on, or you could leave it to, you could take it,
Yeah.
But letting things be discovered along the way is fine as well.
And that's like what you mentioned as well, like your first game. So, like, if you're playing it for the first time, then you're not necessarily going to know that, and then suddenly it's second game that you play, it's right, I know what I'm doing now. Yeah, I need to keep an eye off that. Any games that you can think of that you can explain as you play, so there's no teaching involved, you just start playing and then teach it as you go?
I can't remember.
I've got an example of one. I've got for example,
go for it.
Dixit. That's one that I've played again with people from work. I give people a hand of cards and say, right, I'm going to give you a clue. So Lord of the Rings, something like that. And then I'll put a card down and I'll say, right, you need to pick a card from your hand which you think closely matches my clue, Lord of the Rings. So gather all the cards up, put them all out, and then right now we're doing this bit. Now we're voting on which one you think is the right card, things like that. So it's something where you can kind of do it as you go along and then explain the scoring at the end. So at the end, when you do the scoring, you can kind of explain that a little bit. So there's no teaching involved. You just give everybody a hand of cards and say, right, pick a card. And then you're often playing without actually, doing an explanation at the front end.
I think that's a good example. I think it's one of these games where the scoring doesn't matter that much. It's the gameplay that comes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that someone doesn't know exactly the right thing to do. It's you to do something. Yeah, and I think other games like that where it's the activity and the scoring is there to motivate it, but it doesn't matter particularly.
Wavelength. Have you played that one?
Wavelength is a good one, yeah, or Concept.
Yeah,
yeah, they're all things where the scoring doesn't really matter,
yeah,
and you can just get into it. And the games where the person who knows it can take one role and doesn't really, and anyone who's new to it doesn't have to do much in the first game.
yeah.
Like code names, you could say, "I know the game, so I'm going to be the clue setter," and anyone else doesn't really have to know the rules. Just you're on that team. I'm going to give you some clues.
Pick a card, yeah, yeah.
That's and anything else where there's like a sort of a bit like a games master in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
One person who actually knows can sort of take the lead. And and there's less pressured roles that other people can take if they don't know the game.
Yeah. One of the good things as well about this hobby is showing people one of your favourite games. So a game that you really like and maybe might have played quite a few times, you'll know it off the top of the head, so you don't have to sort of catch up on the rule book first. You know exactly how it plays. Sort of teaching that game and hoping to instill some of that enjoyment that you've had out of the game over the years, or how many times you played it. That's quite fun as well. Showing people something that you've enjoyed in the past or that you still enjoy. Whether that be like a shorter game or a longer game or whatever it is. So one of my favourite games is Seven Wonders, and I've got the newer version with that. It's got really good player aids in the new version. It's got like it shows you all the chaining cards and it tells you what the icons are and stuff. And there's a couple of player aids that you can sort of pass around, so that makes teaching a little bit easier as well. But I really enjoy showing people how that sort of game plays and how it works and how the drafting works and things like that. It's I like showing people that how to play that. It's not the easiest game to teach, I don't think, especially if it's new people.
Here's the science cards. Here's how they play. Don't worry about it too much. Just because the science cards are the things that I think that people get stuck on the string. You can't really internalize.
And I did actually get complained at as well because somebody had been collecting science cards at the end of the game, and I hadn't really explained the scoring of that very well. So he was a bit miffed that, he didn't get much score out of it because he didn't get all the cards that he wanted. So, I do try and explain that up front, even if I have to get a couple of example cards out and just show. But again, it's on the scoring now. The new version's a lot clearer on the player aid, so it tells you on there how it scores and everything. So if you're not quite sure, you can always look on there. But that is something I've been caught out in the past with. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the more you've taught a game, the more you realise where the stumbling blocks are that you have to make sure that this bit's clear. But I remember teaching Seven Wonders to my sister and her husband, and I mean, at one point, I think that was one where, even though everyone wasn't quite clear on things, it was let's just get started. You can do stuff.
Yeah,
and it's fine. I mean, as we were just before we started, my sister's husband, who is one of the cleverest people I know, she's a doctor of marine biology. He said, "I've got literally no idea what I'm supposed to do. What's supposed to be happening?"
Yeah,
it's fine. He got it after a few plays. It's fine. Oh yeah,
it's not the most intuitive game, I don't think.
Yeah, just put something down.
A lot of icons and a lot of.
It's good. Just put something down.
Yeah, you get 7 cards at the start, and every card's got a different colour and different icons on it. There's no text on there, I don't think, is there? It's all just like little pictures, and you've got your chaining, and
I think it does.
I've got these coins, and what do I do with these? And
it does have a slight advantage in that basically it only really it builds up into cards mattering. At the start, you just put something down.
Yeah,
and then it's fine.
Yeah.
Then you put something else down.
Pick a grey or a brown card. Yeah, you'll be good.
Yeah. Later on, it matters really. There's really crunchy decisions. If I do this or I do that, or they want that, so do I keep it from them and things like that. But at the start, you just put them down, and that's a really good sort of gateway into the game.
Yeah. I have taught Seven Wonder Architects to non-games as well, and that is a lot easier to teach.
Yes.
Because you're not all doing something at the same time. It is going around, like one person will do something, and if they're not quite sure what to do, then at least you can help them. Whereas with a Seven Wonders, everybody's doing something at the same time, so it's a bit more tricky that way. But Seven Wonders Architects, I don't think it's as good a game as Seven Wonders, but I still enjoy it, and that's a slightly easier
It's
teach.
very smooth to get people into playing.
Yeah. That's more of a gateway game, I think, than the base game is. But still good fun. Yeah. So that's us teaching games. So if you do want to be taught some games, or if you want Tom to teach you a game, come down to the club on a Tuesday night, and we'll show you some games.
I have taught a lot of games over the years, so hopefully I've got a bit better at it.
Same. Yeah. Okay. All right, Tom. Thanks for coming on today. It's been good talking to you as usual. Hope you have a good time at the show of the weekend. I'm sure they have a fantastic time. But looking forward to your battle report when you come back to see how you got on. We've been the Sheffield Board Gamers. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode. So goodbye for now. Bye.